Cuba, Palestine, Iran, Lebanon are not alone and will never be alone. We have to act. I am Ploutarchos Vergis. I come from Greece. I'm a member of MERA 25 and DM 25.
You told us earlier that you actually went on the Gaza Freedom Flotilla. Could you give us a little details on when you went and how long it took and with what other people you were on the boat?
I've been a member of the Greek delegation of March to Gaza, Greece, which is a delegation that we first all met to the March to Gaza through Egypt back in June 2025. And after that, when we came back to Greece without making to cross to Rafah, we gave a promise that we are going to try to come back. So we started immediately to plan to be the Greek delegation of the global Sumud Flotilla. We started looking for boats. It was a hard summer looking for boats and mechanics and sailors and everybody that needed for that mission. And finally, we did it with 4 boats. We've been 27 people at the end. We started from Syros.
27 people were on the boat?
No. There were on 4 boats.
Okay.
There were 4 boats with 27 people on total. We started from Syros, a Greek island. We've been to Milos and then to Crete. And then we managed to find the whole flotilla, which was coming from Tunis and Barcelona and Catania. And we've been together. We managed to be 40 plus boats. And we started sailing to Gaza. It took us for almost 4 days. Until the night that the Israeli occupation forces intercepted on our boats around 40 miles before arriving in Gaza.
So just technically, is it still international waters?
Yes, of course, it was international waters. That's why we are saying that we have been kidnapped on international waters, because Israel doesn't have any right to do that in international water. They tried before that also. When we were in Crete, they sent some drones and they managed to destroy some parts of the boats, but that didn't stop us from going on.
Were people hurt in that process?
No, there weren't people hurting. That's why we understood that they have the ability to target exactly the spot they want. So 40 miles before Gaza, a lot of Israeli boats, really fast ones, they tried to block us. They tried to make us feel fear. And they were also shouting to us to stop the engines and go back and things like that. We didn't listen to those orders. We tried to go on, to keep sailing to Gaza.
Was it one Israeli ship or were like several ships?
There were like a lot.
Okay.
I couldn't count them.
Too many to count. Yeah.
Too many to count, yeah. But you know what? We were so many people together, doing something for the good of people. So we weren't feeling afraid. We were thinking that we have the right to do that. So we didn't. None of us wanted to stop. None of us wanted to go back. All of us wanted to go on and go on. But finally, of course, they managed with their boats and their forces to come close to our boats and looking us with their weapons. So you understand that we were
not armed.
Not armed, of course. So we stopped and they started coming on our boats. they kidnapped us and they took the boats to the port of Asdod, their own port.
And how many days after you were kidnapped, you could go back to Greece?
After that, we stayed in. They led us to the jail.
Yep.
We stayed there for 4 nights. The most members of the Greek delegations. We started. We didn't accept any food from Israel.
Was that something you discussed beforehand, that you're not going to accept food?
Yeah. It was something that we discussed all together.
Yeah.
And the people that they didn't have any medical problems, of course, we decided to do a hunger strike and stay away from Israeli food. So we stayed 4 nights there. And after that, the Greek government with Israel, the state of Israel, they managed to agree to take us back to Greece.
And like in Austria, the exterior minister actually, she didn't want to do any diplomatic action to get the Austrian activists back to Austria. Like, it sounds like it was different in Greece, right?
Yeah. Also, our prime minister, I'm pretty sure he didn't want to do something. But the thing is that the movement in Greece, from the first moment that we have been kidnapped, they've been out on the streets, like in the midnight. More than 5,000 people. They've been to the streets to shout out for us. So the government had to do something to bring us back.
So the public image in Greece was probably more in favor of your activism than against it, right?
Definitely.
Okay, because Austria was really split on that subject. So
we managed through the March to Gaza, Greece. We managed to make it all this action, the Flotilla. We managed to make it well known to Greeks. So that's why they couldn't just don't do anything.
Okay, and switch to Cuba, because we are standing in Havana right now, right next to the Malecon. When did you decide to go to Havana? And
it's really similar situation, in my opinion. In the case of Palestine, it's the Zionism of the war criminal Netanyahu. In the case of Gaza, of Cuba, it's the imperialism of the US. That they both together, they are trying to show to the world that they believe that the world belongs to them. This is not true. This is not acceptable. The people of the world have to defend that. So if we all want to feel free, everybody has to be free. So also the Cubans, also the people of Iran, also the people of Palestine. So that's why I'm here, because I think it's the minimum I have to do to stand up for those people that they don't live free. And also in Palestine, nothing started on the 7th of October of 2023. Everything started on the May of 1948. Also here in Cuba, it's been like 60 years that US is doing that blockade. Now it's getting to the 100%. So we cannot stay silent. We cannot stay silent as our European governments are staying silent. We have to do something. We have to realize that all of us together, we have a power that it is much more powerful than our governments, and we have to do that. We have to do something. We have to be together.
What would you say that people who are not able to come to Cuba, who go to Gaza, maybe for financial reasons, but also like for health reasons, what should they do in Europe, in the home countries, to fight for a better life for Cubans or Palestinians?
Anything that anybody can do. I mean, even the smaller action is really important. It doesn't matter how small is the action or how big. It matters how many people we do something.
Yeah.
If millions of people speak to each other, speak to their parents, speak to their children, speak to their neighbors, that's something really big. So it doesn't matter if you can come to Cuba, or you can make a post to Facebook, or if you can share a donation for Cuba or for whatever. It matters to do something, to speak about it, to not stay silent when something so illegal is happening to the world.
And what do you think will happen to Cuba in like the next weeks? Because Donald Trump makes bigger threats every day. So
no, I think the solidarity of the people of the world will help Cuba, as Cubans help all these 60 years all over the world, everybody that needed help. We have to remember that during COVID, Cubans sent doctors, nurses, and medicines to the whole Europe to help us. So we have to fight back. European governments have to understand that they cannot stay silent. They have to do something. They have to use the power of the Europeans, which is big.